If you're over 70 and living alone, there's something far more dangerous than falling, forgetting names, or even chronic illness. It's the silent toll of isolation on your heart, your brain, and your lifespan. But what if I told you that doing one simple daily action, something free, accessible, and scientifically backed, could reduce your risk of death by up to 45%? Today, we'll uncover the overlooked habit that could literally save your life. Starting today. If you've made it to 70, you've already proven your strength. You've lived through chapters that younger generations couldn't imagine. Loved ones lost, careers built, milestones reached, quiet sacrifices, and unspoken victories. And now, in this new season of life, you deserve peace, you deserve health, and most of all, you deserve connection. But here's the hard truth no one likes to talk about. Being alone in your 70s or 80s can quietly break down your body just as fast as any chronic disease, and it often begins without warning. I've seen this time and time again in my practice. Independent seniors, smart and strong, who suddenly develop mystery symptoms, fatigue, brain fog, dizziness, even shortness of breath. And when we run the tests, sometimes nothing shows up. But when I sit down and ask the real questions, who do you talk to every day? Who do you eat meals with? When's the last time you laughed with someone? That's when the silence answers everything. There was a man named Carl, 72, former auto mechanic, widowed, lived alone in a quiet suburban home. He kept it spotless, took his meds, ate well, walked to the mailbox each day. But inside, he was shrinking. Not his muscles, his will. He told me, "Doc, I'm not depressed. I'm just invisible." He didn't say it with tears. He said it with numbness. Because loneliness isn't always loud. It's quiet. It sneaks into the gaps between routines. It hides behind "I'm fine." It makes the world feel further away, even when the sun is shining. But here's the hope no one talks about. There's a remedy. A daily practice that acts like medicine, but without a prescription. Something so simple, so powerful, that researchers at Harvard and the National Institute on Aging are calling it the strongest protective factor against age-related decline. It's not just exercise. It's not just diet. It's social connection, deliberate, meaningful, daily interaction with another human being. Even brief daily contact, 5 minutes of eye contact, a phone call, a shared laugh, can reduce inflammation markers, balance blood pressure, and increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor, the very chemical your brain uses to grow new cells. But the trick is this: it can't be passive. TV doesn't count. Scrolling through photos on your phone doesn't count. What your brain needs is feedback. Real, dynamic, emotional connection. Whether it's a grandchild on a video call, a neighbor you wave to, or a daily check-in at your local senior center, this is the daily habit that matters more than vitamins or even sleep. And if you're thinking, "But I don't have anyone," please don't turn away. Because in the next section, I'll show you exactly what to do, even if you live alone. Even if your kids are far, even if you're starting from zero, you are never truly out of options. And the steps you take now could change your health in ways no pill ever could. So what do you do if you're alone, truly alone? Maybe your kids live across the country. Maybe your spouse passed years ago. Maybe your phone rarely rings. Is it too late? In fact, this might be the most important chapter of your story, because when you're alone, you have a power most people overlook. You can choose to build your lifeline, one moment, one conversation, one habit at a time. And here's where the science becomes stunning. A team of researchers at Brigham Young University tracked over 300,000 adults for more than 7 years. The ones with strong social ties, daily contact, real emotional closeness, had a 50% higher survival rate. But here's the part no one talks about. The benefit didn't come from how many friends someone had. It came from what they did daily to maintain connection. In other words, one meaningful conversation a day is more powerful than 1,000 Facebook likes. That's why I want to introduce you to a routine I call the 10-minute Lifeline. It's a simple daily practice that stimulates your brain, calms your nervous system, and reconnects your body to purpose, even if you live by yourself. It starts with this. Every morning, before the distractions set in, choose one person to reach out to. One. It could be a niece, a neighbor, a former co-worker, or someone you haven't spoken to in months. Don't wait for the perfect reason. Just say, "I was thinking about you. How are you today?" That's it. 10 minutes of connection. A simple voice, a familiar name, a reminder that the world still sees you. And if there's truly no one, no family, no friends, no calls to make, then let the world meet you. Call your local community center. Join a virtual senior coffee hour. Write a letter to an old friend. Even volunteering remotely, like reading to children online or offering phone companionship to another senior, has been shown to dramatically boost dopamine and serotonin levels, chemicals essential to memory, mood, and motivation. I remember a woman named Janice, 75, widow, no children. She lived in a modest apartment and spent most days reading alone. One day, her doctor referred her to a senior program that matched her with a pen pal, an 8-year-old girl in another state. Janice began writing weekly, then daily. They shared stories, poems, drawings. Within weeks, Janice's sleep improved. Her appetite returned. Her energy lifted. What changed? Her body stopped preparing for survival and started preparing for connection. That's the miracle of this daily act. The moment you hear someone say your name, the moment you laugh out loud or feel listened to, your body switches gears. Cortisol drops. Blood pressure normalizes. Immune cells strengthen. And inside your brain, synapses fire like lights turning back on in a dark room. But here's something even more important. This habit works both ways. When you reach out to someone, they benefit too. Loneliness is not exclusive to the elderly. Young people today are struggling with it more than ever. Your voice, your wisdom, your check-in might be the very lifeline they didn't know they needed. You're not a burden. You're a blessing waiting to be rediscovered. So if you're watching this wondering what to do next, here it is. Commit to 10 minutes a day. Not for chores, not for news, for connection. Write the letter, make the call, knock on your neighbor's door, say hello at the pharmacy, ask the cashier how their day is. These micro moments, done daily, stack up into something far more powerful than any supplement. This isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's about choosing to reconnect to life even when it feels quieter than it used to. It's about retraining the body to feel seen, heard, and needed. Because you are. And in the next section, we'll go even deeper. Because it's not just connection that saves your brain. It's movement. Yes, moving your body even a little each day can trigger powerful changes in your brain's chemistry, blood flow, and ability to resist stroke and memory loss. So stay with me, because what I'm about to show you next could be the simplest, most joyful form of protection you've never heard about. There's a myth out there that exercise is just about muscles, that walking is for losing weight. That movement is something you do only if you're trying to stay in shape. But what if I told you that moving your body, even just for a few minutes a day, can be the single most powerful thing you do to stay mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and alive, especially if you live alone? You see, when you move, whether it's stretching, walking, dancing, or gardening, you're not just working your body. You're stimulating something deep inside your brain called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's like fertilizer for your neurons. It strengthens memory, repairs damage, builds new neural connections, and even helps prevent depression and dementia. But that's not all. Movement also does something else even more profound. It pulls you into the present moment. It gives your day shape, rhythm, meaning. When you get up and move, you tell your body, I'm still here. I still matter. Let me tell you about George. He was 80, a retired railroad worker, lived by himself in a quiet mobile home. After his wife passed, he stopped going out, said everything felt flat. He was still eating, still taking his pills, but he was just existing. Until one morning, after seeing a video like this one, he stood up and walked down his street, just to the mailbox. That was it. But the next day, he did it again, and again. Then he walked to the corner, then to the small park 2 blocks away. And something started changing. He began waving to the neighbors, saying good morning. Not long after, a young man with his dog started walking the same time. They started chatting. The walks got longer. The stories got deeper. And George's world opened back up. He told me, I didn't know a walk could save a life, but it saved mine. That's the power of movement. And no, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be intense. It just has to be done, consistently. What happens inside your body when you move daily is astonishing. Blood vessels open. Oxygen floods the brain. Your lymphatic system flushes out waste. Inflammation markers drop. Balance improves. Anxiety lowers. And even sleep deepens. And here's what's even more inspiring. You don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. You don't even need to leave your house. Try this. Each morning before breakfast, take 10 slow steps across your living room, consciously, with intention. Stretch your arms toward the ceiling. Roll your shoulders back. Stand near a window. Breathe in deeply and say to yourself, "This day is mine." Or turn on your favorite music and sway to the rhythm. Dance like no one's watching, because no one is. And who cares? You're not moving for performance. You're moving for protection. One of the most overlooked facts in brain health is that the moment your body becomes sedentary, your brain begins to shrink. Not metaphorically, literally. Brain scans show that adults who stay seated for long periods develop thinner memory centers, weaker neural pathways, and increased risk of stroke, even if they eat healthy. But here's the hope. Just 2 minutes of movement every half hour is enough to reverse that damage. It's not about exercise, it's about circulation. Because your brain doesn't run on hope, it runs on blood. And blood doesn't flow when you sit still for 10 hours a day. It stagnates, it thickens, and yes, it forms clots. But when you move, you wake everything back up. Your heart, your mind, your energy. And something else too, your connection to others. Because movement, even when done alone, tends to ripple outward. Walk to the park. You might pass someone new. Dance in your kitchen. You might inspire your grandchild on FaceTime. Do chair yoga on the porch. You just might start a neighborhood trend. This is what I want you to remember. Being alone doesn't mean being still. Being still doesn't mean being safe. Movement is your message to the world that you're still living, still trying, still here. And in the next section, we'll explore something even deeper, the healing power of routine. Because when your days have shape, your body has strength. And when your time has rhythm, your brain feels safe. So keep watching, because the next habit we're about to talk about might be the anchor that holds it all together. There's something quietly beautiful about routine. The smell of your morning coffee, the rhythm of watering plants, the comfort of knowing what comes next. But did you know that daily structure is one of the most powerful tools we have for protecting brain health, especially after 70? The human brain craves rhythm, predictability, anchors. And when we lose that, when days blur together, when we drift from one hour to the next without intention, the brain doesn't relax. It frays. And that's the silent danger for seniors who live alone. Not the absence of noise, but the absence of structure. Because without a daily rhythm, the brain becomes more vulnerable to confusion, inflammation, and even rapid memory decline. Let me explain. Inside your brain is a biological conductor, a master clock called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It orchestrates your body's rhythm, when you eat, when you sleep, when your brain flushes toxins and rebuilds neurons. But here's the catch. This conductor needs cues. Without consistent external signals like movement, sunlight, meals, and conversation, it gets confused. The result? Sleep disruption, memory lapses, mood changes, fatigue, sometimes even mini strokes. But here's the hope. Just a few simple daily cues, done in the same order, can bring that rhythm back. You don't need a rigid schedule. You need a ritual, a flow, something that tells your brain, you're safe, you're not drifting, you're still in charge. Take Margaret, for example. She was 78 when she came to me, living alone in her condo, sharp as ever, but emotionally scattered. "Every day feels the same," she said. "I'm forgetting little things. I'm tired all the time, even though I don't do much." We looked closer. Her meals were irregular. Some days breakfast at 7, other days not until noon. She'd watch TV late, fall asleep on the couch, then wake up groggy at 3 a.m. No rhythm, no anchors. So we created one. Together. Nothing fancy. Morning light by the window. A cup of tea at the same time daily. A short walk after breakfast. Calls to her daughter scheduled for Mondays and Thursdays. A midday meal with music playing. Journaling in the evening. In 2 months, she was sharper, brighter. Her sleep normalized. Her mood stabilized. What changed? Not medication. Not supplements. Rhythm. That's why I'm urging you. If you live alone, give your brain the gift of knowing what comes next. Choose 3 anchor points in your day. Morning, midday, evening. Keep them gentle. Keep them sacred. You don't need to be productive. You need to be predictable. Try this. Wake up. Stretch your arms toward the sky. Drink a glass of water. Open the curtains. Tell your brain, the day has begun. Midday. Eat a nourishing meal. No phone, no TV. Just you, your food, and your breath. Light a candle. Play music. Be present. Evening, choose something soft. A bath, a warm drink, a phone call, gentle movement, something that signals, we're winding down now, you're safe. This routine doesn't just soothe your emotions, it repairs your brain. It lowers cortisol, improves sleep, enhances neuroplasticity, reduces the risk of nighttime blood pressure spikes and silent strokes. And here's what's most powerful. When your days have rhythm, your identity returns. You stop feeling invisible. You start feeling grounded. And when loneliness knocks, which it will, you have something solid to return to. Your own rhythm, your own pulse. Even if no one else is around, you're not lost. You are living with intention. So as we move into the final section, we'll explore something that ties it all together. The evening ritual that resets your nervous system, lowers stroke risk while you sleep, and gives your brain its best chance to heal overnight. Because how you end your day matters just as much as how you begin it. If the morning sets the tone, the evening sets the trap. And for seniors who live alone, this trap is subtle. It's not loud. It doesn't feel dangerous. But every night, behind closed doors, millions slip into it without even realizing. It begins with silence, then a late snack, maybe a sugary drink, some background noise from the TV, then a restless sleep, a racing mind, a tight chest, a sudden jolt awake at 2 a.m., thirsty, confused, maybe a little dizzy. You fall back asleep thinking, it's nothing. But sometimes, it's not. Because this quiet chaos, repeated night after night, can thicken your blood, elevate your pressure, disrupt your brain's repair cycle, and set the stage for something far more dangerous, a silent stroke. That's why your evening routine isn't just a wind-down. It's a weapon. And the most powerful ritual you can create begins not with what you add, but with what you remove. Remove late-night eating. Give your digestion time to finish before bed. 3 hours. That's the magic window. Let your brain, not your gut, do the work overnight. Remove digital clutter. Turn off the screens. Let your eyes rest. Let your nervous system settle. Light tells your brain it's still daytime. Darkness tells it, now we repair. And most importantly, remove the myth that being alone means being disconnected. Because connection doesn't have to end when the sun goes down. Instead, introduce something sacred. A rhythm that tells your body, we're safe, we're home, we made it through the day. Dim the lights. Brew something herbal, chamomile, lemon balm, ginger. Hold the mug with both hands. Feel the warmth. Feel the moment. Sit quietly, or pray, or journal, or play a soft melody from your youth. Say your name out loud. Speak a truth about your day. Tell your body, I'm proud of us, even if you're the only one who hears it. One of my patients, Rosalind, did just that. 81, widowed. She started lighting a candle every night before bed. Just one. She'd sit, sip tea, and say aloud, this is my hour of healing. She said it felt strange at first, almost silly, but after a week, her sleep deepened. Her anxiety dropped, her blood pressure stabilized. She started waking up not with dread, but with direction. That's what a ritual does. It builds safety. Safety lowers inflammation. And when inflammation drops, the risk of stroke, memory loss, and nighttime blood pressure surges plummets with it. You're not doing this for comfort. You're doing it for survival. Because while everyone's looking for the next pill, the next breakthrough, the next secret, you already have the answer. It's in the way you close your day, the lights you dim, the thoughts you choose, the story you tell your body before you sleep. Because the most important hour of your day might be the one no one else sees. So tonight, when the world gets quiet, give your brain one last message, loud and clear. I'm still here, and I'm not done yet. Doctors have long studied the effects of heart disease, diabetes, stroke, but only recently have we started shining a light on something just as dangerous, something that can double your risk of premature death. It's not smoking. It's not diet. It's not even genetics. It's loneliness. And for seniors living alone, it's far more common than we realize. You see, when the human body feels isolated, it shifts into survival mode. Stress hormones go up. Inflammation rises. Blood vessels constrict. Your immune system weakens. Even memory begins to falter. That's not just a feeling. That's biology. And day after day, week after week, the wear and tear adds up on your heart, your mind, your balance, your will to move, and your will to hope.